If you are not looking at these 5 altcoins, you're missing the next crypto gold rush. The worst thing that might happen to you in the potential upcoming alt season is not making money. The only way you won't be making money is if you are positioned in the wrong altcoins. Today, I will give you 5 strong altcoin picks for the upcoming alt season. If you are not looking into them, you are truly missing the crypto gold rush. Even if you won't be interested in these specific 5 altcoins, you will understand the underlying reasons on how I'm picking these projects that will help you to assess whether or not projects you are in actually have a nice chance of showing great outcomes, great results in the potential upcoming altcoin season. Based on the amount of likes on yesterday's video, you seem to entertain the thought that I am in jail. One more time, guys, if you think I'm in jail, press the like button for this video. Without further ado, let's start. Several days ago, I was sharing a post from Runner XBT. Most of these altcoins still look like shit, especially on their Bitcoin pairs. Others Bitcoin look hilariously trash, but all of crypto Twitter keeps calling for alt season. What am I missing? We got a response from Crash sharing the chart of crypto total market cap, saying that altcoins look great. And essentially, this is the chart of the altcoin performance in the previous cycle. This is the trend line that we are touching. We were touching it recently. We had a small alt season since the bear market till March. A lot of projects, they essentially showed certain multipliers out there. And just recently, we touched the same trend line and we seem to be trending upwards. He's also sharing that in last time, in 2017, the whole altcoin market received 166% increase, which is around 2.5x. And in the previous cycle, the whole altcoin market, since the similar trend line tap, received 3.5x's from the exact bottom. There are billions of Ethereum short liquidations sitting above us. A huge short squeeze is loading. Ethereum is the papa of all the altcoins out there. Therefore, if Ethereum will be moving, most of the alts will definitely be following a range of alts, range of the whole narratives out there. There are essentially Ethereum ecosystem, Ethereum altcoins, because altcoins as a phenomenon, they only widely became available with the introduction of Ethereum, because it introduced the standard ERC20, which was actually developed by the founder of Luxor. Before we go into the list of altcoins, I have to put your attention to some things out there. From the start of this channel, I told you that you just need 4 coins this cycle and you pretty much won this cycle. The list was as follows: Pepe, Sui, Arbitrum, and Stacks. What we've seen so far is that Pepe and Sui are 2 of the best performing altcoins. Imagine that even before March, because I think the first time I shared this list was in February. Even before March, back in February, I told you that even if you are a conservative investor, with these 4 altcoins, you will be outperforming the whole market out there. What we are seeing currently, Pepe is the most performing altcoin this cycle by far. Second, we have Sui, that is outperforming like crazy since the dip on August 4th, which was caused by Gem Capital selling the Sui like crazy because they were and are under investigation. We have yet to see 2 things play out: Arbitrum and Stacks. Overview for them is not that bullish at this stage, right? But I would say the main thing for them is just to see the movement of Ethereum. The invalidation of the thesis for these 2 are absence of movements from them once Ethereum is way higher than it is currently. Both of them layer 2. The speculation was that Stacks is kind of following BTC and BTC price action. It got proved wrong at this stage. It seems like BTC ecosystem also kind of dependent on Ethereum out there. Stacks as layer 2 technology-wise, it's been marketed as BTC layer 2, developed kind of like Ethereum layer 2 out there. So this is the review. Currently, we would also be talking about 5 strong altcoins. These are not degen picks from my point of view. These are solid picks that have been outperforming lately that I think you actually might be looking into. Either to be packing your profits in or just holding them and the long-term hold moving further into the cycle. First of them is Fuel. As you can see on this watch list, and this is the situation in many watch lists out there, Fuel is almost the only thing that is performing currently. We have to understand what is Fuel in the first place and why it is showing this type of price action at this stage. This is the chart of Fuel CoinMarketCap. We can definitely see that this is a new coin out there. It appeared in the marketplace in December of 2024, so pretty much only a couple weeks ago, right, which is crazy. And we are definitely seeing a very nice price action since then. It is just accumulating in a very nice accumulative range, trying to break out at these levels. To be honest, quite nice timing for the launch of the altcoin from my point of view, mainly because we should be exactly at the time before Ethereum starts to outperform BTC heavily, which will finally cause the alt season to happen. Market cap of Fuel is 200 million at this stage, with 600 million in fully diluted valuation, and Fuel is actually Ethereum layer 2. Guys, I know we have a bunch of Ethereum layer 2s, and we're probably tired of Ethereum layer 2s. The reason with Fuel is that it's one of the fastest Ethereum layer 2. We have some quotes from Vitalik and some other people out there. So as a speculation, should be doing quite nice. And I know, guys, you're probably thinking that, well, there are too many Ethereum layer 2s, they won't be receiving liquidity and things like that. Obviously, if we would have a smaller amount of Ethereum layer 2s, it would be better for them essentially to receive liquidity in the first place. But I do like current situation as well, because it means that the Ethereum layer 2 that will be winning will be able to provide the most value to its users, will be receiving crazy, drastic amount of liquidity into it. 100% this would be happening. At the same time, there is certain demand on the marketplace for Ethereum layer 2, like infrastructure around Ethereum this cycle and the last one, it's way crazier. That definitely shows demand. It definitely shows that liquidity that is present on Ethereum is being served by many companies and many parties out there. I also do not think that most Ethereum layer 2s, they won't be receiving liquidity anyway, because this market has speculative nature. One Ethereum layer 2 will pump like crazy, and then just on the speculative overview right there, they will just continue one after another to receive more and more liquidity. 100% this is something that is happening already and will continue happening as well. Top public chains by TVL growth. The other reason I'm showing Fuel at this stage is because Fuel is actually growing in TVL steadily currently, and it seems like the price seemed to be catching up finally to the fact that Fuel is actually growing in total value locked, which means that we're definitely seeing a lot of focus on Fuel out there. Don't sleep on Fuel. It's a matter of time before the market prices it correctly. VCs paid $1 almost 2 years ago and are locked for a while. Rand sharing Fuel might seem as he either got paid or maybe he's a VC for the project himself, right? Hard to say at this stage. But still should be a pretty nice project, and yeah, it's definitely a very nice narrative when VCs paid $1, right, and you can buy it for like essentially 20 times lower at this stage, which is absolutely crazy. Well, probably maybe late VCs invested $1, and some earlier VCs they were essentially buying and the better valuation out there. And we also got a shout out from Binance out there. This is another reason why I'm sharing this. Fuel Network has announced the launch of Fuel Ignition, and Ethereum layer 2 powered by the Fuel virtual machine out there. So around these things, usually speculation is happening that if Binance is sharing something, then Binance listings should be present. Well, this is a layer 2, so I do believe at a certain point of time, if it's a proper project with a proper team, they will be listing in Binance liquidity out of there. I'm honestly a bit more bullish on the projects that did not have large listings on the exchanges yet, because they have something to look up to. It's like you have limited amount of ammo, right? And once you essentially get rid of all of the ammo out there, you don't have a lot of events, a lot of upside for people to look up to, right? And as soon as you still have large listings in the future, this is something people can definitely look up to. And interesting thing is that we, for example, have point number 9 in this thread, we have point number 11, and we can see that they get way less views, which means that people definitely focused, and they were definitely sharing the flag that Fuel VM was shared by Binance right here. It's just an older launch, right? And it just might be the case that it might be doing well. This is the first in the list of alts that I wanted to share today. We also have to check out the vesting. It is linear at this stage, but not that very heavy. So you probably cannot expect like a lot of sell pressure out there. And FDV is like 3 times larger than the market cap at this stage. Next thing is Suin. Suin being screamed on recently by a lot of market participants out there. I was consistently pushing Sui since December of 2023, saying that this is the next Solana. And right now the market seems to be adopting the thesis when the price are multiple X's higher at this level. Unfortunately, we do not have the Wells effect on Sui yet. Despite the fact it did 9X's from the bottoms, it was still quite high already. So if you were not entering with size or if you were not on leverage, it did not create a bunch of additional Wells for early adopters. For example, as Solana did, right? Just because of the fact that Solana was way lower and it received way more access from the bottom, right? So this is one of the issues of Sui ecosystem at this stage. Some people are trying to play out meme coins out there, play out some AI agents too. It's interesting. I want to say that Sui won't be able to reach the same level of product market fit meme coins wise than Solana. And I do not think that Sui is essentially attracting outsiders into crypto at this stage. 100%, I don't think it's happening. I think Solana is attracting outsiders, and that's why the market cap of Solana is higher, because something that is reaching product market fit and is capable of attracting outside exit liquidity in crypto is always appreciating in value greatly. Like BNB, Binance last cycle, like X Infinity last cycle essentially as well. Right now, Sui it's not at that stage, but we've seen a very nice run up recently. 9x is at $4.5. I was given the targets of $8 at least quite recently. Not actually quite recently. I gave the target of $8 back in February 2024. No one was talking about these targets back at that time, and this is exactly where we are going short term. Unfortunately, it's only 2x's from here, so it's definitely a strong coin. It was a strong coin before, but would you believe me, before that it is a strong coin, before seeing the price action that it did recently, right? I won't say so, right? You only believe that things are strong when they essentially, unfortunately, exhausted most of the upside out there already. But as a nice peak, the cycle, like, can it reach $50 billion FDV? Probably it can. Still waiting for a big pullback on Sui. Look at the Sui BTC chart testing its all-time high. A breakout here would be insane. When it happens, the Sui ecosystem will explode. You are not ready. Well, might be the case if this will be happening at the start of the alt season and following the price action that market makers of Sui essentially inflict through the whole cycle of ours, of this cycle 2023-2024. They like to push Sui the first, which helps them to focus the attention around the coin, around the ecosystem the first. It helps them to track liquidity from the outside as well. So this essentially something that might be happening. In the alt season, essentially most alts in the alt season, they will break out their altcoin to BTC chart, and they will be breaking out because they will be outperforming BTC. It will be happening for any altcoin out there. Sui more than Solana, Sol versus Sui, not many people are ready for this. So a lot of people are essentially calling that Sui is probably one of the small amounts of large altcoins that will actually be outperforming Solana this cycle moving further. But I would say that a lot of things moving forward, they will be outperforming Solana just because of the fact that Solana did have the run already. And I kind of agree with Ansem here that if meme coin Casino on Solana will continue, it will also 100% grow in price moving further, but it just seems like upside might be quite limited. Unlocks on Sui are actually quite predatory as well. Sui 2024-2025 versus Sol 2020-2021. I was making these comparisons 12 months ago when no one was talking about it. Sui is the perfect example of why holding is keen in the bull market. If you followed my post from October, then you're up over 160% without leverage. First big target is $7 plus in his opinion. Dips in between can happen. Double digits in 2025 inevitable. Yes, but you should understand your upside. Even if Sui is going to $16 from here, which is essentially quite a nice number, it's just like 3.5x's from these levels, right? It's not ideal if you would essentially want to make a lot of money with altcoins out there, right? So I won't suggest it as like you won't be outperforming from these levels. It's kind of late. Like the time to buy Sui, to launch Sui definitely was in August, maybe in September. Phantom to integrate Sui blockchain. This is an older piece of news, and can it bring product market fit into Sui? I would say until the time Sui will be able to onboard non-crypto users onto its ecosystem and in crypto, it won't be growing like crazy in value. If it will be able to onboard non-crypto users and bring new exit liquidity into crypto market, it will start growing like crazy in value, because this is the main thing out there, 100%. Next altcoin pick is Dogecoin. I would say that this one is quite a safe one from one point of view. Although Musk is not doing quite well in the media recently with his recent posts on certain topic about engineers and outsiders and immigrants and all this stuff out there, right? Pep is definitely the Dogecoin of this cycle. I would say the upside is quite limited on both Dogecoin and Pep, and I have a feeling that like next meme coin run will definitely be about projects that were consolidating for a long time and they have like lower market cap. They're not in the billions at this stage. Next leg up should be taking projects that are in hundreds of millions into billions. This is something I'm essentially seeing on the marketplace. Despite the fact, if you want to have exposure to the meme coin market, Dogecoin is probably your choice. It's probably like the safest thing to be buying out there. And it does not require a learning curve for retail as others essentially require, because retail know about this thing at this stage, right? And we can see this fib that is showing that Dogecoin is essentially going to 12 bucks this cycle. And what's interesting is that essentially it just copies the fractal from the previous cycle. What's interesting is that we have 3 highs in the previous cycle. First high consolidation, second high consolidation, third high and consolidation. You can see it right here. First high consolidation, second high consolidation, third high and bear market right after, right? So the speculation here is essentially we just seen our first leg up in this cycle and we have 2 more, which should be bringing us to around $6 to $12 out there. This is essentially the same thing, and this projection is even crazier that Dogecoin should be going to 30 bucks. Market cap of this thing will be crazy if something like this would be happening. I'm not saying this at this stage, but if it would be happening, it will definitely be crazy for the underlying memes in the marketplace at this stage. Bull run starts, bull run starts, bull run starts. Also projections for the Dogecoin to go to 6 to 8 bucks, right? Some other charts that the retracement to 22 cents would be perfect for the longs in order to re-enter, right? And long-term charts in general, they look like 2025 is going to be very, very bullish for the Dogecoin. And Dogecoin is kind of your index of meme coins out there. So if things are bullish for Dogecoin, they often are quite bullish for memes. Although this year we definitely have seen a very, very interesting price action with the Dogecoin not moving much when some newer memes were essentially running like crazy through this year. So I would say that Dogecoin is kind of like more like a boomer meme coin index. It was definitely doing quite well recently with Trump winning the election, because market essentially accepted Dogecoin as Trump beta out there. Next thing I'm talking on is Hyperliquid. All validators selected by Hyperliquid are now on mainnet but not yet active. Decentralization around the corner. Staking coming soon. Hyperliquid received recent piece of FUD that North Korean hackers essentially tried to hack it in order to get money out of Hyperliquid, but to be honest, they're trying to do it with each and every DeFi protocol out there, so this is just natural to happen. The reason I'm talking about Hyperliquid is that, as mentioned, the only business model that is working stably in crypto is an exchange. Whether a decentralized exchange, a centralized exchange, some type of perps platform, this is the only viable model, because eventually this is the casino where the casinos are essentially dexes taxing people for exchanging chips out there. This is the only thing, like this is something that you are able to make money on for the infinite amount of time, because you're essentially just creating this platform for people to gamble on, right? They're using your tool in order to gamble, so it will definitely survive. It will definitely, like this type of business model will definitely be alive for quite some time out there. And from product market fit, they essentially did a very, very nice thing. They're definitely reaching product market fit. They will have a bunch of incentives moving further. They got largest traders out there that are pushing largest volume on the platforms as well. And they have recent buybacks mechanisms as well. They have a very, very nice launch with VCs not being able to get in early and not being able to dump on retail and on default market participants. So very, very nice thing out there. Hyperliquid and hype will go to zero, you bastard, is the biggest cult since Luna times. I would say that this statement is a bit early, right? And it would be very, very important to see how it will be playing out over time. Personally, I would say that your upside is limited, right? Because, for example, this presenter is showing that we will be seeing $100 per one hype, right? From current levels, it's 3x. Am I getting horny? Am I getting hard from seeing a 3x in crypto on an altcoin in the industry where I can lose everything in a nanosecond? in a blink of an eye? No, I'm not getting horny about a 3x. This guy is one of the hardest pusher of Hyperliquid on X. If people are this upset now, wait until they realize they missed another multi-billion-dollar airdrop, Hyperliquid. I would say that the next airdrop on Hyperliquid won't be making this type of wave, mainly because previous one people were not expecting like at all, right? And upcoming one people will be expecting. And it's very, very hard give people like satisfy over expectations that people actually have in crypto. Very hard to essentially do it in the first place, right? I think initially they were able to do this. Moving further with each and every airdrop will probably be, honestly, we'll just be receiving a bunch of FUD. And people will be like nagging, they won't be satisfied, because life is too good in the first world country currently, right? It's too good. That's why people are essentially just constantly complaining about things out there. What's the reason as well, and what proves that Hyperliquid essentially achieved product market fit this cycle already, right, is because it's ranking 7th by revenue between all of the DeFi protocols out there. Although I would, yeah, it's fees in 24 hours. Ton is making $2 million in 24 hours. Yes, pretty much. It's also quite interesting to see that some of the projects that we're seeing here, they're actually in top fees-wise, right? And they're already products of this cycle, which are Pump.fun, Hyperliquid. Well, they probably took like more time to develop. Pump.fun definitely appeared somewhere in this cycle, right? And Photon, yeah, it's probably an earlier thing as well, and it just was able to capitulate heavily on Solana finding its product market fit, and Photon essentially being a service that helps to supply for this product market fit, which is essentially trading meme coins in best casino in the world, which is Solana. Last but not least is Aave, which is a DeFi protocol. This is 100 EMA and certain projection on the chart of what we might be seeing on the Aave chart out there. And essentially the expectation from the marketplace is that this thing should be behaving quite bullish into integration of Trump out there. Bunch of people essentially were expecting all season to happen before the integration and us to drop heavily on integration of Trump out there. I was the one who thought as well like this too. But currently it's quite hard from the timing point of view. Like I'm not seeing a crazy alt-season happening in the upcoming 3 weeks and us dumping heavily into integration event. It seems like market just decided to chill, right, and just wait until we will be past the integration event. Maybe hear some policies from Trump and then essentially send. This is something that I think market is expecting at this stage. Aave, you actually might not care about any of these charts, about any of these protocols. The Trump crypto project is actually buying Aave at this stage, right? Which means that essentially Trump is buying, right? So it's a very, very nice sentiment out there. He will be the president for 4 years at least, right? So it should be quite nice. So I would say that speculative value should be quite nice in the market where we would have more liquidity. But one word of caution is that with all these like DeFi things, with things like Hyperliquid, with Aave, just take a look that bunch of them, they're essentially in the focus for this show, because bunch of them, they have been performing nicely recently, mainly because in this time of fear, people are looking at what? They're looking at revenues, they're looking at real money and things like that. In the time of the full degenerate risk on, no one is looking at these things. But the key to make a lot of money in this niche, in this sphere of human endeavor, right, is to be degenerate when everyone else is afraid, is to buy degenerate stuff when everyone else is just looking to allocate some DeFi protocols that have real world revenue and stuff. This is not how you outperform. And from the market cap point of view, I would say that Aave is quite high at this stage. So most of the stuff actually sharing today, like Sui, like the other stuff that I just mentioned, they only have like Hyperliquid, they might have like 2 to 3 to 4x short term, but you won't be outperforming with them. These are just like, to be honest, the reason I'm doing this type of content is because I'm trying to get more people to watch the channel. And I do understand that most people are pussies. So I'm trying to make more content for pussies out there. Like, hey, this is a nice altcoin, go buy it, because they're not going to buy a dog shit coin that will essentially be able to give them like 10, 20, 30, 50 X's. No, they won't be doing that because does not have a project, it doesn't have a team, nothing is happening, and blah, blah, blah. And most people, they tend to underperform, unfortunately, in this market, right? And I'm just trying to essentially make more people watch this channel, right? And that's why I'm making the content for pussies. And if you're a pussy, you can be buying these protocols, making your 3x, be happy that you made 50% more that you made in stocks in the last 15 years, and go see your wife on the date with some other guy who essentially bought Dogecoin, probably a friend of yours who had sex with her in the high school. Moving further, Aave vector near cycle high despite wide market weakness. Probably some institutional money buying so they can declare at year-end report that they own Aave, one of the best performing DeFi asset and the future of finance. Yeah. No one cares about what the institutions are doing when the market setup is bullish, and that's why like I'm trying to communicate this message in the last previous videos as well. No one cares what Grayscale is buying, what institutions are buying, what is happening in the bullish market setup. And from my point of view, from the risk reward point of view, yeah, like short term, it might be harsh. You might be sitting, nothing might be happening, 100%. But from my point of view, you should only be planning for the risk on part of the cycle. Everything else is just positioning, you position, and then in the risk on environment, people are buying your degenerate asset that you bought 100x lower during the times when it was the most scary out there. This is the only way, from my point of view, how you should be playing this market. Top blockchain devs by total revenue, yeah, who cares? But apparently people care out there. Aave, yeah, top 5. So yeah, if you have more estrogen than testosterone, you might want to buy into that to make you 2x and be safe on this market and be safe with your money as well in the industry when everything can go to zero in no time. So this is my overview of these altcoins at this stage. I would say the ones that have most upside at this stage is actually Fuel. Also, although I'm quite cautious about certain people shilling it, right? And yeah, Dogecoin, Sui. Yeah, you won't be outperforming with these type of assets. Although like in a very, very bullish type of setup on the marketplace. And if you like with these type of things, you should probably be like full porting, to be honest. I think if you're playing at this level of risk, at least you should be increasing your risk by full porting one of these altcoins. Because if you take your portfolio and you put it evenly in like something like Doge and Sui and some of the peaks that I mentioned as well, like Hyperliquid, and it's equal, nah man, it's not the way. You are still playing it on a very, very low risk in the first place. And you are trying to diversify on top. This is not the way to make money. The way to make money is in the first place to focus, right? To put most of your money on one thing, maybe pick 2 to 3 if they're very degenerate. And at the same time, obviously be playing in the field of lower market caps out there. This is the way to be making it, right? It's not the way to be making it to even like buying like 300k of Sui. Well, if you'll be buying 300k of Sui at this stage, you'll probably be ending up like with 1 million by the end of the cycle, 1.2, which is kind of nice. Like especially, like I don't think that there are any type of investments in the world out there that can yield you 3x on 300k on a matter in less than a year, which I think that Sui would essentially be doing currently. So if you're entering with 300k into Sui, I think in less than 1 year you would have at least $1 million, right? Which is quite nice. Like there is not a lot of stuff that can actually be doing that. It will be able to happen over the course of less than 1 year is because we are at that part of the cycle, right? But this time frame is closing. I would say like we should be seeing last weeks currently. Last weeks where you would be able to be doing something like this, right? And right after now, it's gone. It's gone, you call it quits, you start to play degenerate stuff because you're doing the wrong behaviors, because you're essentially going risk on, you need to be going risk off. The higher the risk of average market participant goes, the more confident they become in just spending their money on some low caps and bullshit, the more risk off you should be becoming in this marketplace. So I've been talking for quite a while. Thank you very much for watching this video. Like this video, guys. Like this video if you appreciate the content. If you appreciate my honesty at the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Stay healthy and rich. And I shall be seeing you tomorrow, maybe the day after. Bye-bye.